All right, this is where I lived in Waterbury, Connecticut. It was on Walnut Street, and the people next door would blast this music, and oftentimes it seemed like the same song that would go on for hours on end. And oftentimes they would blast this music all during the night. So if this happens to any of you, you need to call the police and put in a complaint. Now the weird thing about it is I spoke to my neighbor, and he said, I called the police and they don't seem to care. Don't listen to that. You must call the police. And if the police do not show up or the police do not seem to do anything about it, you need to keep calling them. Alright, so if you did not hear that, I am going to play it one more time. But oftentimes what they'll do is combine the music with subliminal statements. And those statements are designed to affect people's minds without them consciously knowing it. Some of this stuff will trigger people to do certain things. To get angry, to yell out the window, to go outside. So let's hear that one more time. Alright, this next one is an example of what is like festival music or something, and it seemed to be like the same song that would go on for hours and hours and hours. The song would not change, and it just was this obnoxious music that would go on all night. At times it would get absurd with the noises that were going along with the music. Okay, this is an example of agents that are positioned outside the house to harass you by yelling and being obnoxious, and this went on for an hour, and it goes on again and again and again throughout the day and night. Now what I've noticed is that oftentimes these agents speak gibberish. They don't know what to yell about. So they end up just speaking gibberish to each other that doesn't make much sense. Now we've all heard people yelling at each other, and some of it comes out sounding stupid. But this honestly went on for about a half hour or so, and it was complete insanity. None of it made any sense whatsoever. And if you notice, there's a guy with a deeper voice. You really can't make out any of the words he's saying. It's like he's mumbling to himself. And at the same time, the female agent, her voice keeps changing. And as her comments go on, they make absolutely no sense. An individual came and parked his car right under my apartment, right under my window, and he would sit there blasting music. In this case, it was rap music. And what was odd about this is that they would come here, they wouldn't get out to go to the store. They would park under the window, they would blast the song, or 2 songs, or 3 songs, and then when the song was over, the individual will leave. So I'm sure that you don't want to hear the whole song. I'm just going to play a section of the music he was playing, and then you can hear him saying something like, just get out here, and then he leaves. But this would happen every few days. So once again, people could argue that that's what city life is all about. But that's exactly what the military tries to imitate and go to the absolute extreme to agitate people. That's what your US military is using their huge budget to do, is to go around, disturb, bankrupt, and destroy the middle class in this country. They have every method you could imagine to create problems where there'll be arguments, cops are called, people are arrested, people have to go to psychiatrists, people have to go on drugs, people have to move out of their apartments, people are made homeless, people have lost their jobs. This is what it means when they destabilize regions and then take over. When they move their people in to create chaos and destabilize regions so then the military can take control. This is what they do. When they can't go in and start bombing certain areas, these are the tactics they're going to use. They're going to use radio frequency energy weapons to put you into an agitated state, and then day after day, time after time, they will send their people in to be that straw that breaks the camel's back.